Yo, what up my body shop bots? So today got a pulse resistance build, Lady Death build. Once again, apologies, no PvP clips. I'm showing you a build that I run in the DZ. Until the devs fix the game, I can't put fucking PvP clips in. I've done my specializations up. It is what it is. I ain't gonna get fucking exposed for blagging it or some bullshit. I'm barely PvPing. These are the builds. Build these builds, farm your absolute nuts out until the patch comes out and build this build. This build combats spotter builds and it combats the little bots running around with the Heartbreaker build. And also it combats the pulse. My favourite skill is nullified by this build. It's got good weapon damage on it, it's got good crit hit damage, etc, etc. And with the Lady Death, you've got all that amplified damage as well. You're also running the firewall specialization, which in my eyes, the medkit is the most OP medkit in the game. It's just, it ticks all the boxes, if I'm brutally honest. It's still got good crit hit damage, got good crit hit chance, and a little tiny bit of hazard protection as well, which is always good with the massive skill bots in this game. But yeah, let's get on with the build. So my chest piece, I've got a one piece of Sokolov. The one piece gives me 10% SMG damage. I've got 14.3 weapon damage. I've got 4.5% crit hit chance, 10% crit hit damage, and 12% crit hit damage mod. My talent is unbreakable. While your armor is depleted, repair, it's 50%, I think it is in PvP. There you go. My lovely assistant's just changed it. Repair 50% of your armor. So basically, it gives you an extra life. 50% of your armor. Boom. Happy days. Meta PvP talent, in my opinion. So for my backpack, I've got a Grupo backpack. One piece gives me 15% crit hit damage. You could go for a Sokolov piece here as well, depending on what you've got. I've rolled 170k armor on it. I've got 12% crit damage, 6% crit chance, and a 12% crit damage mod. The talent is Adrenaline Rush. Obviously, you gain 10% bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times, so you can get up to 30% bonus armor if 3 enemies are within 10 meters of you. Awesome little talent. Makes survivability amazing. So this is the first piece of Yule. Obviously the one piece gives you 10% hazard protection, the second piece gives you 5% weapon damage, and the third piece is what you need for this build, 40% pulse resistance. I've also got a 9.4% pulse resistant mod on this build, which brings me up to 99.4% pulse resistance, which makes you immune to pulse, makes you immune to Heartbreaker and the laser pointer. This is what makes the build, the 3 pieces of Yule. I've got 170k armor on it, 12% crit damage and 6% crit chance. The way to get Yule, it only drops in the DZ, so you've basically got to farm the DZ. Why they haven't brought it into the summit or to Countdown or to other places, I don't know. At the end of the day, the loot in the DC is absolute wank anyway. Just have it in fucking Summit and that now. So my second piece of Yule are my gloves. Yule, 170k armor, 6% crit chance, 12% crit damage. And my holster, I didn't actually have a holster, so I had to go farm this. Took me about 20 minutes to do it. 170k armor, 3.5% crit chance, or 3.8% crit chance. Sorry, my eyes ain't good. And 12% crit damage. Basically, crit chance, crit damage on every piece. Luckily, Yule comes with the armor anyway, so you don't have to farm your nuts out for that piece. But yeah. And then my knee pads are the Fox's Prayers. 50% weapon damage, 8% damage to targets out of cover, and 12% crit damage. I run this build at 1.5 million. You can run it at 1.7, 1.9, whatever really. It doesn't really matter. I just find with the 1.5, you melt them very fucking quickly with the Lady Death. And yeah. So talk about Lady Death. For my primary, I run the Lady, the meta SMG, the meta weapon up close, if I'm honest. Obviously flatline's probably better at mid-range on an AR, but up close there's nothing that competes with the Lady at the moment. I've got 17 weapon damage on it, 14.8% SMG damage, 20.5% crit chance, and 6% damage to armor. It's got a 32 round mag, which is a bit small, but the RPM 900, it just absolutely smacks. And it smacks because of the talent, which my lovely assistant is scrolling down to now. When moving, gain 4 stacks per second, or 8 stacks if sprinting, up to 32 stacks total. Each round fired consumes a stack, amplifying damage by 60%. So basically, strafe about, build them stacks up, unleash the mag, strafe around a bit more, build them stacks up again and unleash the mag again. Once you get that kill, you get a nice little speed buff that makes you look like a massive tryhard, and you can just strafe about it. It's awesome, it really is. The mods on the gun are pretty good as well. You get a 10% crit hit chance, sight. Come on, assistant, scroll the fuck down. 10% crit chance sight, 10% reload, 5% crit damage, and then 500% melee damage, which if someone's in the health bar, give them a little melee and they're down. For my secondary, run whatever you want. I'll run a carbine 7. I love this little gun, it's so cool. Obviously, I think it's dropping everywhere now, but it used to be DC exclusive. But 15% assault rifle damage, 21% health damage, 10% damage to targets out of cover, and I've put Optimist on it, which is weapon damage is increased by 3% for every 10% of armour missing from the magazine. So at the end of the mag, you're gaining 30% weapon damage, and it obviously scales down as you empty in the mag. Basically, good little talent. You could also have like measured or strained or something like that. In sync if you can proc it with the pulse or whatever. You even have flatline if you're proccing it with the pulse that I run on this build. It all depends really. It's up to you. 5% crit chance sight, 20 round mag, 5% crit chance grip, and a 5% crit hit chance muzzle. If I'm honest, if I could get the crit chance up a little bit more on this build, I need a bit of optimization obviously on the chest and the holster. I would run the firewall grip, which gives me 10% crit hit damage, just to gain that little bit more crit damage. I think 10% crit damage is better than 5% crit chance. As long as you're over 50% crit chance, this build will slap. Orbit, ain't gonna say it, don't run a purple pistol. Well, I said it, but yeah, don't run a purple pistol, run the Orbit. This pistol is OP in PvP. It helps you bring that crit hit chance cap up, and also it adds 40% crit hit damage once you change back from this weapon. So get this weapon out, shoot a little red bar in the head or finish a player off or whatever, swap back to your primary and you're at the crit hit chance cap, gain 35% crit hit chance and you gain 40% crit hit damage. It is beast. For me, it's the best pistol in PvP. Don't be a twat, don't run a purple pistol. It's as simple as that, man. So for my skills, I'm running a decoy. Because you're pulse resistant, you can drop the decoy, chuck it in a completely different direction to what you're going, and these guys cannot find you. It's as simple as that. Mix it with the pulse. So what I do, I try and drop the decoy and then I'll pulse after. I can see them, they can't see me. And yeah, it is what it is. I've got 6.5% health mod on it and a 7.5% duration mod. Yeah, it is what it is. The pulse and the decoy together, they just run so well. And yeah, as you can see, pulse cooldown 17.2%, cooldown 9.6% duration. The effect radius is 110 meters. Conflict cooldown, I don't know why it's so high in conflict. I don't play conflict anyway. I think it's for mindless fucking bots, but that's my opinion. Maybe it'll change one day, I don't know. Yeah, so that's the skills. Yeah, I'm running a 10% radius mod and a 5.6% skill ace mod in my pulse. So the stats on the build, for the Lady Death, I've got 60% crit chance, 147.3% crit hit damage. I can't see that on the screen. 80% headshot damage and 6% armor damage. Obviously, I have got the 8% damage to targets out of cover from the Foxes as well. 76.3% all weapon damage, 15% assault rifle damage, and 39.8% submachine gun damage. For the Carbine 7, 51.4% crit hit chance, 142.3% crit hit damage, which could be 152% if I can optimise the crit hit chance, take the crit hit chance sight off and put the crit hit damage grip from the Firewall Specialization on. It's got, obviously I've got 8% damage to targets out of cover with that as well, 10% on the gun. For some reason they don't show the damage to targets out of cover on these stat screens. I don't understand why they don't. They show damage to armour but not damage to targets out of cover. 76.3% all weapon damage, 30% assault rifle damage, all pretty self-explanatory really. But yeah, so that's the stats. So the specialisation I'm running on this is Firewall. basically Firewall is the PvP meta specialization. The only reason why now it kind of isn't is because you can't proc Flatline or Spotter, which are probably the two best damage talents. But I think it's a good compromise in my opinion, because with Firewall you've got the OP med kit, and you've got the cluster bombs and stuff like that. You've still got the shield if you want to run the shield. But then with the technician, you don't have as much perks from the specialization, but you've got flatline and you've got spotter. So I think it's quite a good compromise between the two specializations at the moment. Because obviously with Firewall, you've got one optimist or the lady or something like that. But all the little talents and all the little sub trees, it's built for PvP. Like you've got a 10% crit damage, grip and stuff like that. The 10% damage to enemies, buff and stuff like this. It's just a PvP dream really. A lot better than the technician, but as I say, the technician you can proc spotter, you can proc flatline. So yeah, that's the build guys, pulse resistant build. I don't know, there's a lot of videos out on YouTube and stuff that says that you've got to have over 98%, 98 or point something percent. So if you can get a half decent pulse resistant mod, run the build like this and you're immune to pulse, you're immune to them little bots with Heartbreaker, and you're immune to most of the spotter builds as well, or all of the spotter builds. It is simply a counter build. You can run this as your go-to build, but I wouldn't recommend it. There's better builds out there. Put this on if someone's running Heartbreaker, or there's loads of them running Spotter. But yeah, that's the build guys. Once again, like, comment, share and subscribe and all that fucking bullshit. Until next time, cheers.